So hello everybody and welcome to today's OpenONU Go call. Thanks for joining. As usual, the call is public and recorded and will be published on YouTube. So the first element is the 2.9 release. It's progressing. We are effectively in code freeze except bug fixes, but I think that is fine. There is no major element that we expected to come in from the adapter side. So we're just looking at the different failures that we are seeing and things like that. So, and we know there are some issues in respect relation to subscriber delete and tech profile also delete. Girish put in a fix, me and Matteo working on a few checks here and there in the different applications and ONOS and Volta as well. So we are on track. The test show some failures, but it's okay. We can fix them before the release. So on the relationship to the second point instead, Holger, I believe your patch is up and actually got merged, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Because I think it wasn't merged yet.
No, not yet.
Well, I don't know.
I might have triggered hardware test on it, but not merged it.
No. We did here some local tests with the existing reconciling test suite and the states suite and so on. But actually, this is currently a little bit shattered by the existing issue with the hanging resources, because when we run the regression after reconciling, we will always see hanging resources in ONOS and also in OLT, and that's why also Thorsten's new test case will not run successfully. But I already used the new test suite by Thorsten and saw that the patch is principally working, so it can cope with changes in the tech profiles regarding the tech profile stored before the adapter was killed or was restarted. And when it comes back, the first action will be that it will will ask the OLT adapter regarding tech profiles, and when there's any discrepancy between these configurations, then the KV store data of the ONU adapter will be adapted accordingly, and then the corresponding ONU will get a NIP reset, and then it will be reconfigured during the reconciling. So, but as I said, currently we have this issue, for example, in TT workflow, that when we remove the subscriber until the ONU adapter is not present, only one tech profile will be deleted and the other two will remain active. And also we see that a lot of the flows are keep in state pending delete in the ONOS. So that's why we do not see a clear picture for this patch. And the question is, you said there's already some work in progress to cope with this, or is it a different issue?
So we are investigating a few issues with Matteo. Yesterday we might have found the issue of the subscribers still being present in ONOS. Bear in mind that everything is cleaned up except one map in ONOS. The flows are gone. Everything is clean except the ONOS has some weird stale state. And we think we found the issue there. The removal of the technology profile, that has yet to be checked. It might be the same reason we found yesterday, but has to be defined. I am not sure. And because the fact is that not cleaning something might get into a loop where there is some reconciliation inside ONOS that happens to make sure that the flows are sent down and are not actually completely removed. Also, Girish found a small issue in the adapter that he fixed with a patch. that is up. I don't know if I got merged. Sorry, it's only 8 a.m. here, so I'm not exactly on top of the patches that have been sent in today in European or Indian time. And long story short, what I'm saying is that there are some works that we are doing to make the issues that you mentioned go away, and we'll continue on that front. The good news is actually your patch passed hardware test, which I triggered yesterday. So I actually believe this is a good patch and it's properly working. I asked Girish to take a look at it, and he will reply to me and give a +1 or have comments on it, and then we can then merge this, and then we can proceed in trying to understand the other issues we're having. Does that answer your question, Holger?
Okay, I see. And regarding the new test case by Thorsten, what would you say? Should we bring it in and let it fail until the problems are solved, or should it only get merged if the problems with the hanging or pending flows has been fixed? What is your opinion?
So I would say let's wait. I mean, it's always good. We know the patch is up. Push the patch on Gerrit. We know it's there, and I would suggest to wait a little bit until we fix the issues, just not to pile up test failures, because we know it's going to fail. And we know that the failure is reproducible even without that test. So I would just suggest to go ahead and keep it in Gerrit for now.
Okay, I see.
Okay. Anything else on this?
I don't know. Thorsten, have you any further thoughts about this?
No. And just for information, I'm still working on the patch. It's not ready. Holger needs so much data and information and checks. It's such sophisticated.
Thorsten will check in ONUs and in the OLT adapter, and also in the etcd if the flows and tag profiles are consistent after these removing the subscriber when the ONU adapter is gone. So it's there's a lot of checks we can think of, and additionally you also check if the other subscribers are not impaired by this new feature, right? You will also check the flows of the not affected ones.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you have some more time to make this excellent, this patch.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay. Then this 2.8 patch got merged for the null pointer exception. That's good. The storing of the unsupported MEs. This is not being implemented in BBSim, and but the patch for storing them has been done, right, Holger? We merged it last week.
The patch for storing the unknown MEs is done, but the patch for storing the unknown attributes, we decided to wait for the support by BBSim, I think.
Yes.
But okay, that is when it is available, it should not be such a big thing. But nevertheless, we have already the unknown MEs are already in, and this I think is more important than the unknown attributes, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. So let me actually do this. There we go.
I have to tell you, I have defined a new story for the OMC Go, which I already discussed with Chip regarding creating constants, exported constants for the attribute names of the MEs, because currently we have a point of failure that all attribute names will be redefined within the caller's code, and this is a potential point of failure. And I also discussed already with Chip, but that he can provide such constants. But I think that is an issue of 2.10, isn't it? We will continue it, or I will bring it in not before the release of 2.9, I think. I don't know, Chip, if you already made some implementation here or not.
No, I haven't made the implementation. It's sort of straightforward. I have to just have the code generator generate those var constants for the string names. So, it would be adding that. So that would touch pretty much every generated managed entity file. And then, of course, we have to handle the entity ID separate, since it's the same for all MEs. So it was just not a risky change, but a big change to a lot of files. And not, I don't think we'd have a good chance to review it and test it.
I would say we do this after 2.9.
Yeah, and I could probably get it done fairly quickly, depending on how the holidays go.
I already addressed Matteo, because it would also affect him in the BB-Sim, because he also used the OMC Go. So that is a step to make the code more reliable, I think.
It would be a change in the ONCI Go that you could in the ONU or BB-Sim, you can do it either way. You keep the constants, because I'm going to just have to make sure that they generate the exact same names. They should. So you can switch over whenever you want to once it's available.
I think so. Okay.
Yeah. It's just a matter of staring and making sure everything's 100%.
So that's good. Thank you. So then next year we can probably bring it in. Yeah. Okay. Okay. What was only for information. Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. On the bandwidth profiles versus the traffic descriptor unit, I did not find a proper document that describes in detail all of these elements. So it's probably gonna be needing a write-up before the release to be included in the 2.9 documentation. I'll try to do that maybe with the help of Girish. And so, that's the update. That's the update I have on this side.
Yeah, Girish has sent some development document in this respect. I only had a short look at it, but it for sure does not answer all the question that a user might have configuring this metering. So exactly. I still wanted to make perhaps some comments on that, or if you have a preparation for the release document, then I could also have a look on that as well.
Yeah, no, I will try to create this document independently of the release, meaning it's going to be a part of our documentation from now on, and I will just have to describe it. And now, as soon as I upload it, I will let you know, so that you also can provide some comments on it for sure.
Okay.
Okay, I'll have to create a Jira for this. Okay. On the software update front, any news, anything that we need to do for the release? I'm not sure we actually have anything here to do for the release, because the optimization that Amit was talking about, it's not going to get done for this release for sure, because it's going to be a major change in things. So he has a patch up for that if you guys are interested, but it's not going to be done for the release.
Yeah, I'm still working on this Jira, which is also mentioned here, 4472, which is a smaller bug fix. So I still want to deliver something for that.
Okay. Okay, good. Thanks, Michael. On the voice over IP front, Odzge, how's the work progressing? I know it's not going to be a 2.9 target, but if you have any update, we'd be happy to take them.
Yeah, sure. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I had created an OMCI diagram for VoIP service on OpenONU last week. I put the OMCI diagram into wall 4407. I saw that I don't wait for OMCI response to VoIP MEs. Then I didn't get any errors, but I need to wait for OMCI response because maybe ONU didn't process successfully the OMCI message. I am now I am getting a process not completed in time error when I have been waiting for the OMCI message response. My creation path is actually like that. Adopt ONU device. Don't configure pod UNI. Tag profile Golang request. Create VoIP MEs. Create any site configuration. Create and set VLAN configuration. Michael has a suggestion about it. He's saying I should create VoIP MEs after the VLAN configuration. I thought about it before starting implementation. I need to give a MacBridge service profile ID to the MacBridge port configuration. Because MacBridge port configuration data needs to bridge ID pointer. Also, I hadn't want to change any config FSM. Maybe I can try to trigger the creation of VoIP MEs after the VLAN configuration. It's okay for me. From Michael, from what I understand, you want creation after VLAN configuration. Is that correct?
I think that's a better approach. Otherwise, you have some, let's say, timing conflicts with the tech profile configuration and flow configuration that is received from RW core just after ONU up or port up indications. And if you do the VoIP configuration, if these processes are finished, then you should have the OMSI channel for your own. On the other hand, I said if you do it in parallel for DMEs that are independent from the ANI and VLAN configuration, this should not really have some influence on the general processing. I mean, it should take, of course, a bit longer, but timers are long enough so that it should still work. So I suspect that in your code is something that blocks the processing for some reason in the tag profile processing. But of course, I'm not sure about it. I'm not aware of your code, and it's just a guessing, because
Yes,
from your logs,
I
it's
know.
visible that nothing really is processed in the tag profile configuration anymore.
Yeah. Actually, this workflow will be affected to the startup time of the ONU device, and we don't want that.
Yeah, what you mean by that? If you want to configure the voice over IP service, then it must be done, of course. And if you count that configuration into the startup time to have the service up, then yeah, you can of course try some optimization, but in general, the work has to be done.
Okay, I understand your point, but I need to talk with Mahir.
Yeah, of course. Just for you to get some progress, I would try to remove some of the code that you have currently in that to make the changes a little bit smaller, and try to integrate the configuration of the voice over IP things stepwise, so one after the other, and to see how up to which point it is still working for the complete system setup. And so perhaps then you have a better indication on what point there might be some blocking issue.
Okay. Also, I didn't see any success path. Because of that, I didn't apply any patch on Jira, on Gerrit. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, until you have some successful runs, I would not suggest applying upstreaming anything on Gerrit. Yeah, that would be. I think that would be good. And then as soon as you have it, we can always test it.
I am working on voice over IP. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
When it will finish.
Okay. Any more questions or comments for Odzge on the voice over IP? Okay. If not, let's go to the testing as a last element for our call today. Thorsten, we talked about the patch you're working on. Is there anything else that you'd like to share or discuss?
The only thing I sent in Slack, maybe you see it yesterday. There are some issues in the pipelines since the last weekend, and we don't know why.
So there's a couple of things that went in. One is the new OLT app. That is definitely a possible issue. The second one is that I actually merged two patches that immediately disconnect the OF agent from ONUs as soon as the device deletion completes. So there could be some race conditions in there as well. So these two things are probably the reason why we see some stale data. We're looking into it. That's as I mentioned before. We know we have seen the test failures and we're looking into it. If you have any suggestions, more than happy to take them.
Okay, so I don't have more today.
Okay. So that was all I had on my agenda, on the agenda I have here. But I'd be open to hearing anything that anybody has to discuss or wants to bring up before we close the meeting.
I think we still have to discuss, not in this meeting, but generally, what things should still be merged from latest to release 2.8. There are some things still open, and
do you have a list of what you think is not backported and
no,
should be?
of course not.
Oh, okay.
I only know that something could be merged, and perhaps that must be discussed. So we have to have a look on it, maybe. And the problem is that I won't do the work for that. So maybe some parts may.
So maybe Michael, if you have an idea of what you think should be backported, do you mind sending it to me? I can also possibly take a look at what did not get backported, and see if I have a sense of what needs to be done. But if you do have that list, I'd appreciate you sending it over to me. Or if you have some thoughts, at least not a precise list, but some thoughts.
Yeah.
I would appreciate you
Understood.
sending it over.
Yep, we should do so.
Okay, and then we can discuss it and see. We can bring it up in the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay. Then it's actually perfect timing, so I can jump off to my other call. Thanks everybody for joining. I'll publish the recording, and let's continue the progress. I'll keep everybody posted on the fixes that we're doing with in respect to the failures we're seeing, so that you also can retrigger tests and checks that on the respective patches. Thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Excellent.
Bye-bye.
Bye.